Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now October 1st of 2022, and we are getting closer every single day to the official release date of Tales of the Jedi on the 26th of this month. That's really going to change how we view the characters of Qui-Gon Jinn, Dooku, Ahsoka, and a whole lot more on the horizon as well. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new Star Wars universe is that a lot of fans have been very invested with, of course, what's about to come by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, George Lucas, and exactly what kind of tricks they really have up their sleeve when it comes to all of the shows that will be announced at Star Wars Celebration next year, as well as, of course, D23 next year. So the roadmap is going to expand all the way until like 2026 next year, giving us a long list of projects. Now, moving forward from all of this, what's even all the more intriguing has a lot to do with the fact of what's been going on behind the scenes with, of course, Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy and the Disney executives. Now, this has been a long time coming. There's been a lot of problems happening between Disney and Kathleen Kennedy for a very long time now. Disney, of course, is in the process of trying to find the proper way to let her go early on, apart from when her contract ends in 2024, and they already have a lot of candidates to take over as the new president of Lucasfilm, as we went over before, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well with some updates. Now, moving past this too, what's really exciting has a lot to do with the fact that Favreau and Filoni now have full creative power over 98% of the TV shows. You know, you have, of course, the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew that's being done by Kathleen Kennedy still, but I digress. Now, with that being said, with Kathleen Kennedy now actively developing both the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, she has also been getting more involved with Disney executives after she had caused more problems behind the scenes for the Star Wars franchise. Now, it's noted that recently Kathleen Kennedy got in more trouble with Disney executives after she recently decided to fire and let go a couple of other directors from the Acolyte show for the episodes that she has creative power over. The Disney executives already are now in the process of drastically limiting their budget now on the Acolyte series based on what Kathleen Kennedy has been doing recently with firing director and replacing them. That is only delaying the production further down the road. Now, let me just pause here quickly for a second. Now, the fact that she fired more of the directors and are replacing them with new ones again is only delaying the production of the Acolyte series. What I mean by production, of course, specifically is principal photography. All right, they wanted to get this thing filmed by this October, all right, and that ended up not happening. Then they planned on doing it by November 1st. That was scratched off the list. Now, what they're trying to achieve is to get this thing filmed. We're talking about the main big scenes with all the big sets. They want to get that filmed now by sometime in December. If you want my real 2 cents here, I really don't see this happening because it looks more and more likely that they're going to begin principal photography by maybe the first week of January, maybe the middle of that month, like the real heavy-duty, scenes that require a lot of the actors to be on set. So, already preliminary stuff has been filmed, just exterior shots and on-location shots, etc. But that's really not all that big of a deal. That included no actors at all. Now, with that being said though, given that executives are now stepping in, a lot of problems have been arising based on Kathleen Kennedy's actions. And what she has been doing has been very much unacceptable. It's just making the production a nightmare for the cast and the crew. And the next thing here is, of course, for now, Disney has decided to cut down their budget for the series by a big 25%. That has to do a lot with CGI and visual effects, and are now forcing Kathleen Kennedy to use more practical effects in the series as a result. Now, with Disney now having to spend more revenue on marketing because of the mishaps by Kennedy, this is the main reason why budgeting is now getting limited compared to what Kennedy originally wanted. Bob Chapek is also handing more budgeting to the episodes that Favreau and Lucas have creative control over, since they are telling which direction Leslie Headland to go in. Right now, Kennedy is looking to hire a set of new directors for The Acolyte so that she can begin production as soon as possible, and is now looking to get this started by the beginning of December at this point, when originally it was going to be November 1st. Disney executives are also forcing Kennedy to do some recasting for some of the other planned characters in mind as well, to help balance the show and the actors involved. Now, apart from Kathleen Kennedy here, this really has been a very big problem for a very long time. You know, her really causing a lot of setbacks, causing a lot of delays, firing and rehiring people, and or just getting new replacements. Just a big mess. And this show was announced roughly 2 years ago at this point, and it really hasn't gone all that far besides the script. Now, sure, some sets have been built, and some very preliminary filming has been done, but that's very much, minuscule at this point. So when you look at everything related to the Acolyte series, it really doesn't seem like it's getting on its feet all that fast. Now, one big set that was actually recently built, that was under the supervision of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni as well as George, has a lot to do with the Old Republic flashback scenes. So yes, for those of you wondering, The Acolyte will have Old Republic flashback scenes. And what's great about that is that those flashbacks are going to be handled by Favreau and Filoni, as well as Lucas, to properly insert what the fans love and enjoy. Now, I'm starting to wonder if a lot of fans are going to end up just liking the show because of the Old Republic flashbacks and or the visions, and whether or not this story is going to feel very divided. And what I mean by that too is that we have a handful of episodes that Kennedy is working on, and we have a handful of episodes that John and George are calling the shots on. Now, they're not necessarily writing anything, they're just telling Leslie Headland what to do and what not to do. They have power over the actual episodes. So, apart from that set that's being built, that's being, of course, prepared for a scene to be filmed that involves the Old Republic flashback, it actually really does signal a flashback to, of course, the sacking of Coruscant. I don't know if you guys know about the sacking of Coruscant, but there is a set that's being built that heavily mimics the Jedi Temple, and it's looking like that shape, and we can see that everything related to the Acolytes so far, there have been several sets built. They're all wooden frames. You really can't tell specifically what they are, but you can get an idea based on the shapes. So the Old Republic content, I think, is going to be a home run, given that it is being done by Favreau and Filoni, and of course, Lucas as well. And this is only bad news for Kathleen Kennedy's episodes, as budgeting is now down 25%, which means they're probably going to be more cheaply made. I mean, I love practical effects, I really do. But if they're being done by Kathleen Kennedy, it's just not gonna work, in my opinion. So, anyways, guys, apart from this whole problem, let me know what you guys have to say about all this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.